What's happening here? Why aren't they telling me anything? Hello, everyone. It's your favorite Incredible Mysteries channel. The year is 1951. The place is Baghdad, Iraq. But the date could be any day in the last 2 years. This is because every day brings new uncertainty and fear for the Jewish community living there. They know they're being watched. They know their leaders are being arrested. They hear rumors of families vanishing overnight. Bombs have exploded at synagogues and homes. Men, women, and children are too afraid to even step outside. But across the border in Israel, a secret exodus is underway. Codenamed Operation Ezra and Nehemiah, it's a daring plan to evacuate Iraqi Jews and bring them safely to Israel. Only problem is almost nobody knows about it. That's because it's being carried out in absolute secrecy. Secret agents are forging passports, bribing border guards, smuggling entire families in the dead of night. This is not just escape, it's rescue. And when it's over, more than 120,000 people will have been brought to safety in Israel. But not everyone will make it. And the biggest question is why? The year is 1948. The place is Jerusalem. The event is Israel's War of Independence. It pits Jewish forces against neighboring Arab nations who refuse Israel's right to exist. The fighting ends in 1949, but the world is forever changed. For the first time in 2,000 years, the land of Israel is in Jewish hands. But this comes at a price. As celebrations echo throughout the streets of Tel Aviv, Cairo is seething with anger. Across the Middle East, anti-Jewish riots erupt. Synagogues are bombed, Jewish businesses are destroyed, and innocent people are murdered. In Iraq, a full-scale campaign of violence is launched against the local Jewish community. More than 200 are killed and thousands are wounded. They're also stripped of their citizenship in order to leave the country or else. Faced with this impossible choice, where will they go? The solution comes from an unlikely source. Moshe Sharett, Israel's prime minister, proposes a deal with the government of Iraq. Israel will offer asylum to any Jew who can get to its borders. In return, Israel will trade much-needed oil and raw materials back to Iraq. They'll also share intelligence about Kurdish rebels who threaten the Iraqi border. It's a risky bargain, but someone has to do something to save the Jews of Iraq before it's too late. The order goes out to the Mossad Lilia Bet. If you don't know about the Mossad, it's Israel's national intelligence agency. First created in 1948, its main purpose is to gather intelligence and carry out covert missions overseas. But this is different. Now they have to not only get Jews to safety, they have to do it without anyone knowing. So the secret plans are drawn up. Operation Ezra and Nehemiah. Ezra was a Jewish scribe who saved the Torah scrolls when the Babylonians invaded Jerusalem. Nehemiah was a cupbearer who went on to rebuild the city's walls. Together, their story symbolizes hope in times of trouble, which is exactly what's needed. By 1950, things in Iraq are bad. Most Jews want to leave but have no way out. They're trapped in a country that hates them. But now word spreads through underground networks of secret deals made by Israel and Iraq. Perhaps there is a way out. The Jewish leaders meet in secret. They agree to send their members to the border in small groups under false pretenses. Once there, Israeli agents will spirit them away to safety. It's a long shot, but the risk must be taken. Using smuggled radios, the Mossad agents coordinate with local contacts in Baghdad. Then they smuggle Jews out of the city in trucks or trains, often under the noses of Iraqi soldiers. Many of them have no idea they're escaping for their lives. At the border, other Mossad agents are waiting with forged documents, weapons, and ammunition. The operation is audacious and dangerous. One wrong move and everyone involved could be caught. But one by one, the refugees cross into Israel. Those who arrive tell stories of terrible persecution in Iraq, of friends and family left behind. The Israelis listen intently. They also know that each person who crosses the border represents a potential threat to their own security. While the dramatic escapes from Iraq are making headlines in Israel, another exodus is taking place. But this time it's coming from Iran. Back when it was called Persia, the country had one of the largest Jewish populations in the world. But since the Islamic Revolution of 1979, they've been trapped inside Iran. Under the rule of the Ayatollah Khomeini, Jews are forbidden to travel freely or practice their religion openly. Israel's Mossad works with Iranian Jews to smuggle them out, but it's a lot harder to do. The borders are tight and anyone found leaving the country is put to death. Still, Israel has a plan. During the 1950s and 60s, they built a network of safe houses in Tehran, Isfahan, and Shiraz. These became known as Khidmat Zion, meaning service to Zion. With forged documents. Local couriers transported Jews from house to house until they reached the border. Here, They crossed into Turkey and then flew directly to Israel. By the end of the 1970s, some 85,000 Iranian Jews would be brought to safety in Israel. But soon the borders would close again. Thousands more would be stranded. Today, the story of Operation Ezra and Nehemiah is taught in Israel's schools. It's considered one of the most daring rescue operations ever carried out. But it wasn't perfect. Some of the Mossad agents involved went missing. We may never know what happened to them. Some say they were captured and executed by Iraqi soldiers. Others say they disappeared after making a deal with the enemy. After the last refugee has crossed the border, the Mossad begins Operation Magic Carpet. They want to smuggle everyone who helped the operation out of Iraq and into Israel. But this isn't easy. As the two countries grow further apart, fewer and fewer people are willing to help. And when Israel cuts off all trade with Iraq in 1951, the whole thing grinds to a halt. From then on, the only way out of Iraq is via Jordan. But it's a dangerous journey. And on the way, many refugees are murdered. But not everyone makes it out. Some people simply vanish. Throughout the 1950s and 60s, rumors spread among Iraqi Jews. Entire families who registered for the operation never arrived in Israel. Instead, they're stuck somewhere between Iraq and Israel, perhaps languishing in a refugee camp or worse. Many of these people are young children. Their parents gave them false identities so they could escape unnoticed. But then they were separated forever. Now grown adults, they still search for their families. Some were told their loved ones perished in Iraq, but they don't believe it. They know their names are on the list. Somewhere, somehow, they just need to find it. There's just one problem. Some files from the era are still sealed. Today, Israel's National Archives holds millions of pages detailing the history of the nation. There's just one problem. When it comes to the secret exodus of Jews from Iraq and Iran, some of the files remain closed. We don't know everything that went on during the mission. Some experts say it's because Israel made secret deals with the governments of Iran and Iraq. They don't want to upset these fragile relations, so some things are kept under wraps. Others say it's a cover-up. They say that Israel doesn't want to admit certain failures or expose the names of people who betrayed the mission. Rumors have swirled around Israel's rescue missions for decades. The biggest one claims that Victor Chaib, the man who led the operation, was actually a double agent. He worked for the British intelligence agency MI6. But when he was arrested in 1964, he admitted nothing. Even today, we don't know for sure. Perhaps he was just doing his job, gathering intelligence for Britain. Maybe he was motivated by money, whatever the truth. His actions may have put the lives of others at risk. And when you're trying to evacuate 120,000 people, the odds of something going wrong are high. That's what happened to Ronan Bergman. His mother and sister were sent to Iraq on a secret mission. But then they vanished. We don't know if they were killed, betrayed, or simply lost in the chaos. But their disappearance haunted Bergman for his entire life. Eventually, he became one of Israel's best journalists, eventually writing a book about the secret exodus, the case of the missing brides. But even he couldn't find all the answers. So what really happened to those who vanished during the secret exodus? The truth is we don't know. We have to consider the possibility that some people were lost forever. When you try to evacuate that many people in a short amount of time, mistakes happen. Documents get mixed up. People get separated, and sometimes they're simply left behind. But this is more than a logistical nightmare for the families of those involved. It's a personal tragedy. They weren't able to save everyone. And even though it was done in the name of Israel, it still hurts. To learn more about the secret exodus, check out my other videos about Israel's daring rescue missions. Thanks for watching. Do you think some of the disappearances were caused by Israeli mistakes? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Remember to subscribe if you haven't already. See you next time. Bye.